Hello, it's 9 p.m. You are watching on live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Here are the major stories. The Minister, uh, the Minister of Health takes part in the closing ceremony of the symposium. And on the international scene, Algeria, Venezuela, the President Nicolas visit Algeria. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The Minister of Health went in Ali Sabih region in order to conclude the work of the National Symposiums on Health, which is the first of its kind in the country's history. This symposium took place at the headquarters of the Regional Council of Ali Sabih region and in the presence of the Prefect of Ali Sabih and also the President of the Regional Council and Technical Advisor, the Director of Region Departments, Mr. Idris Farah, the Chief Physician of Ali Sabih region, and the local official, but also the elected official as well as a senior official from Ali Sabih region. The occasion of the launching of National Symposiums on Health was also attended by the various segments of civil society that responded to the request of the Ministry of Health. These symposiums, initiated by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili, and launched by the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdili, aims to create a collective exchange of views on various issues related to health reform. These health symposiums will undoubtedly make it possible to evaluate health, the achievement and process of discuss ways and means to create a platform that will strengthen and provide our country with a strong and equitable health system. The general objective of the health symposiums is also to create platforms capable of organizing public consultation through thematic workshops in order to define the necessary health reform. In her intervention, the representative of the World Health Organization expressed her pleasure and happiness to participate in the occasion of closing the work of National Health Symposiums. And she said, I noted that organizations always support the effort of the Ministry of Health in this file, but also in all the health systems, she concluded. In a speech to the deputy of the governor, he indicated the local authorities had listened careful to complaints the citizens and residents living in this area. In his speech, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdili, stressed the need to hold meeting with the resident of the governorate to receive their needs and provides priorities in the medical files in Ali Sabih resident. To know their health need. Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdili also pointed out that the work of, as we know, he said, it is constantly changing, and regarding the challenges of the future, we need to come together and consult with each other. These symposiums will not stop and will continue in Djibouti, the capital, and the interior region. It is possible for Djiboutian expatriates to participate in this seminar through social networking sites. We will meet next week, and each region will have its representative. Finally, the minister stressed that the ministry will draw up a list of priority need for each region so that the recommendation made during the 4 days of symposiums will be taken into account. After that, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdili, accompanied by the representative of the UNICEF and World Health Organization, went to the regional hospital in Ali Sabih region in order to participate in the delivery of a significant amount of medicines and other pharmaceutical products designed for all public health facilities in the region. Upon his arrival and his accompanying delegation, the minister was received by the region's governor, Musa Aden Migeni, the head of regional council, Mr. Sharmaki Hassan, in addition to the chief of physicians and the central hospital and the hospital staff were also present, and it is in general manner the general manager, the Ministry of Health, has placed this large quantity of high qualified medicines and pharmaceutical product in sufficient quantity. This bold strategy is start to meet the expected needs of all health structure in the Ali Sabih region. In addition to the medicines, the two new vehicles were delivered, including an ambulance and new medical equipment. The Ministry of Health called on various officials to benefit from these medicines through a good management of medicines and in the preservation of all health tools. After 2 days of intense discussion, the 12th meeting of a steering committee and the Lighting International Symposium of a Forum of the State Inspector in Africa concluded yesterday, Thursday, June 9. The thousands of 20 in the corridors of the Kampaski Palace Hotel, the participant in the activities of this important event, which was held under the slogan Governance and General Performance. Discuss ways to enhance the various tasks undertaken by the Supreme Audit Institution to contribute the good governance, which will improve the performance of public institutions and bodies. The work of the meeting and this meeting was opened last Tuesday by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margile, in the presence of the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed and many members of the government, but also the State Inspector General in Djibouti, Mr. Hassan Isa, who also holds the position of Secretary Executive Director of the Forum and the General Inspector of the State in Africa. According to the organizer, this step came to consider in the depth of institutional reform that will be implemented in order to strengthen the functions of African oversight institution in a member state and to enhance the exchange of know-how and experience on information system and methods of in order to detect and also prevent corruption. The President of the Republic delivered a special speech at the opening session, welcoming the participant from the member state and representative of in order to praise the active participant in this event. This forum also established in Djibouti in 2006 with the support of government and the Republic of Djibouti, especially to become to become an actor, evaluate and forward taken in public administrations. Following the launch by the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Mumin Asowe, through the National Union of Djiboutian Women and in the cooperation with the Mayor of Djibouti City and the awareness-raising activities about hygiene in various community development centers, the awareness campaign activities which are part of Djibouti Zero Waste program, which was started by the mayor of Djibouti City, took place until the 14th of June at the Community Development Center in the 5th District. The cleaning and awareness campaign will continue across the Community Development Center in the capital, the interior region, and in an opportunity to enhance the dynamic of a youth association around civic and citizens' value. In the context of effort aimed at educating children with a special need, the Secretary General of the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Mahyoub, shared the day before yesterday the work of a workshop to develop a strategy for the implementation of a 5-year action plan for educating children with a disability throughout the national territory. The education teacher, the rehabilitation center basic. The objective of this workshop is to address the issues of developing a strategy for the next 10 years and implementing a 5-year action plan for educating children with special need. The workshop was the work by two expertise specialized in this file, but also this workshop gave a presentation on the current situation of special education for people with special need by presenting the obstacles that hinder the process and developing special education program for the broad category of a society. The program of the conducting examination for benefit of these students was implemented in the cooperation with a team affiliated with the National Agency for People with Special Need. The agency spared no effort to contribute the important project in turns Colonel Dr. Daher Musa and the throat doctors, but also they participate in the result that were reached after the examination conducted for the two hearing impaired preparatory students. In his speech, the Secretary General of the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Mahyoub, pointed out the importance of this workshop to develop a strategy for implementing the 5-year action plan for the education in order to educate the children with special needs throughout the capital and the national territory. This workshop, he said, aims primarily at addressing the current situation of special education for the people with a special need by presenting the obstacles that hinder the process of developing special education program for this broad category of the society. A delegation headed by the Director of Maritime Affairs and the Tajora region in order to ensure the safety of ferry transporting citizens to the northern region. This visit aims to address the problems of young people who jump from the ferry into the water and endanger themselves by jumping from the ferry. In this regard, the delegation headed by the Director of Maritime Affairs held a meeting with the leaders of the region in order to address these problems, which poses a threat to everyone. This meeting witnessed the participation of regional and security officials and parents of these young people. On the occasion of the celebrating of the World Environment Day, which was celebrated under the slogans of One Earth of Obah Association, the Obah Women Association for Development organized a community work day in the city of this province and garbage collection. This step aims to promote joint action, which is an effective way to enhance social cohesion and develop solidarity between youth and women living in the same environment. This day was also an opportunity to educate the people living in this region of Obo on the importance of maintaining cleanliness and protecting the environment in order to provide everyone with a healthy environment for citizens. Many young men and women and officials of the Obo region participate in this community initiative In her speech, Ms. Hasna Ali Mohammed and Ms. Fatima Hamad presented on Oboh Association and Oboh Women's Association expressed their thanks to the Ministry of Environment and State Secretary in charge of sport, the Governor of Oboh, the President of the Regional Council, and citizens who participate in this valuable initiative for the effort they made for the success of this community day. Like the rest of the other region, interior region, the battalion of the forces of the military schools in the village of Holhol, now in the Hassan Gulaid Military School, celebrate for the fifth anniversary in the army forces of Djibouti, which coincide with the 6th June every year. The ceremony witnessed the participation of many many military figures of this school, local officials of the elect official and governorate of the region, the head of regional council, and the locals, in addition to many civil society. The commander of a battalion station in the schools reviewed the military units and receive a salute of honor from them at the ceremony. During this occasion, the battalion commander read a speech of the Chief of General Staff of the Army Forces and said as follows.
Officier.
After that, the military parade began by the Army Forces units of the whole military schools in the presence of governorate authorities and residents who attend en masse at this ceremony, and at the invitation of the head of the battalion, the commander of this battalion station, in the presence of the senior military commander, laid a wreath of memorial elected inside the camp in the martyrs of the army forces who fell in the arena of their duty towards the homeland and people.
وأدخلهم الجنة وأعذهم من عذاب القبر ومن فتنة النار. اللهم لا تحرمنا أجرهم ولا تفتنا بعدهم، واغفر اللهم لنا ولهم ولجميع أموات المسلمين. الفاتحة لهم.
And now moving on to the international scenes, on Thursday, Venezuela President Mr. Nicolas Maduro arrived in Algeria for a 2 days visit, during which he will discuss with the president a number of political and economic issues, foremost of which is the energy file, the current development against the backdrop of the opening and ongoing war in the Ukraine. President Maduro was received at the international airport by the Algerian Prime Minister, but also the foreign ministers and the number of government members. Maduro came to Algeria from Turkey, which he visited on Wednesday, where he met the President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.